They are here. It's not only Comrade Mbax, who has decided to look like an elder and grow a beard. It doesn't make him look nice. There are other NEC members who are here. And let me also greet the provincial leadership led by Comrade Zamani Saul, and greet the regional leadership, and indeed greet the leaders of our alliance formations, the alliance, the party, COSATU, Sanko, I was told, was not here, SASCO, COSAS, and everyone else who's here. Keridumela, Abshid, Sanbonan, Mantla. Comrades, it's a real pleasure for me to be here. We have been launching Letsema campaigns all over the country, and it's good to be here in Northern Cape. I was particularly pleased with the way the program was arranged. They got me started at a place where I had been to a year ago, the house or the home of an 82-year-old Gogo, who, when I came here a year ago, did not have a house, did not have a place to sleep. And when she told me her story, I was even shy to ask her, where do you stay? Because she was staying in a little mukuku, which looked most unhygienic. And I was touched by her story. Her granddaughter is the one who was her lawyer, her lobbyist, her campaign manager, who was everything, and a mobilizer who spoke the most about the conditions that Mama Lo was living under. So I was very pleased this morning when Comrade Zamani and them took me to Malo's home to go and show me the house that the province and the municipality have built for her. A beautiful house. So I want to commend and thank the provincial leadership of the ANC here in Northern Cape for having lived up to the promise that I extracted out of them, that Malo, having waited for 20 years on the housing list, waiting list, she finally today got her house on her 82nd birthday. That is real discovery. And yes, you're right, Comrade Mbax, I even gave her a kiss, full kiss on the mouth. And as you can expect, a number of other Gogos also said, Nami futhi niyayifuna. So I gave a few kisses today here in the Northern Cape. But I did so because the people here in the Northern Cape are really warm and friendly and loving and outgoing, and they are embracing, and I got a few embraces. There's a lot of love here in the Northern Cape. And I even told everybody, Malo, you know, if I was born 82 years ago too, I'm sure about that. So I was really pleased. And I was also pleased to be taken to a memorial park named after a young man who was killed when he was 15 by the apartheid regime. Tony Murebudi. I was very pleased that his mother was there as well, and the park has been named after him, and we planted a tree. His mother, myself, and the Premier planted trees there. So that too was a great opportunity, and we did a little bit of work. So comrades, it's been a real pleasure for me to be back here in the Northern Cape, but more importantly, to be back as we launch the Letsema Campaign. I had expected and I had wanted, or we must do what I am doing now as I go around, to meet the branches and get you as branch leaders and members to give you an opportunity to speak. Because quite often we go and we give you speeches and we move away. This what Comrade Balula was saying. We do a helicopter flyover and we don't get to hear what you say. So I wanted this moment to be used also as a cadres forum, where you have an opportunity to speak about the work that you're doing in your branches, to also speak about the challenges that you are going through in your branches, to also speak about the way you see your own movement, where it's going, the broad challenges that are facing our country, what your perspectives are, what also importantly your suggestions are. I have often found, Hori, within the membership of our movement and its branch leaders resides a reservoir of wonderful ideas, fantastic views and thoughts about what needs to be done. And I've often heard from some comrades from the challenges that we're facing. It could be ESCOM, it could be unemployment, it could be everything. Comrades in the African National Congress have views that they put across. They have thoughts and they have clever ideas. Now, I had wanted us to have such an occasion, but I'm sorry the program was jam-packed and we ran out of time. And now I will hope that when I next come back to the Northern Cape, we will be able to have that moment, because I will be back. I will definitely be back. Yes, Comrade Premier already reminded me I will be back, possibly in the area of Uppington. And he says it's the 20th of October, and I will find time to come back to Sol Plaatje, because I am hungry to hear your views. Comrades, we are here about the Letsema Campaign. The Letsema Campaign, yes, the brainstorming, the thoughts that came out to launch the Letsema Campaign were brainstormed by our comrades in campaigns at Luthuli House, but that they did after going throughout the country, examining the contributions that have been made by many of you as members of the ANC. They then came back and said, we need a Letsema Campaign. But that also arose out of our performance in the 2021 local government elections. You will remember that our performance was way below where we belong as the African National Congress. We went down to 46%, an area where we never thought we would ever be. That resulted in our comrades crunching the suggestions, taking them to the NEC, and finally coming out with this campaign, Letsema. This campaign has its foundation its real foundation is about being able to work together. It is also a real forward movement process of reconnecting the African National Congress with our people. It is also about re-engaging with our structures. In some cases, we found where our bad performance was as a result of our branches not being alive. I went to one province where I listened to ANC leaders or former leaders, because they were no longer leaders of branches, saying they have not met since 2017, meaning that the branches of the ANC had gone into a deep freezer. They were no longer alive. There was just no ANC activity in some of those branches. Now, the Letsema campaign is about making that connection alive once more. Connection amongst ourselves as activists in the ANC, as members of the ANC, as branch leaders of the ANC, and waking up those branches that have gone to sleep. Some of our branches are fast asleep. They are no longer in existence. They long existed many years ago. Now, this Letsema campaign is about getting those branches to come alive, reconnecting with our people, laying a solid foundation for renewal, so that we can renew the African National Congress, reposition it, rebuild this glorious movement. Many of us agree and admit that, yes, the ANC has really gone down, and the Letsema campaign is to get us back on the road to being a glorious movement once again. It is about renewing our contract with our people, getting our people to see us as that organization, the liberation movement that led the charge to liberate them, but also an organization that has been serving them, has been doing all the great progress that we are seeing in our country, although now there have been some reversals in a number of areas, but also working tirelessly to make sure that we are an ethical organization. We are seen as an organization of integrity, of great ethics, subscribing to the values of our founding fathers and mothers, subscribing to the values that are inscribed in our Constitution. But more importantly, getting rid of what has been a huge complaint that our people have had about leaders of the ANC in relation to corruption, ridding our movement of corruption and corrupt leaders, and saying those who are serving the god of corruption don't belong in this organization. Because that, comrades, is what our people want to see. They want to see an ANC that has great values, an ANC of integrity. But more importantly, they want to see an ANC that is going to serve them, an ANC that is going to have leaders who are going to serve the people of our country with commitment and humility, not leaders who are going to serve them so that they can line their own pockets, so that they can advance their own interests. They want leaders who will demonstrate demonstrate truly and completely that they are there to ensure that we build better communities. So, comrades, this Letsema campaign is also about building a strong, renewed, and united ANC, making sure that the structures of the African National Congress are rebuilt and they are united. And when we talk about unity, comrades, we're talking about principled unity, not unity to go and steal, not unity to go and do wrong things, not unity to become factional, where people advance their own factional interests. It's about unity that is real, that is principled, that is aimed at building a strong African National Congress. This Letsema campaign must also be about how the ANC attracts cadres who are going to be committed, not the cadres amkokotel. And these days we are finding even thugs and thieves and jailbirds come into the ANC, and they want to take leadership positions so that they can use the African National Congress for their own criminal activities. Yes. So, comrades, this is about attracting those comrades, those cadres who are committed, who are going to be serving the people of our country with distinction, with commitment, with humility. The Letsema campaign is also, comrades, as I said, connecting us with our people. It is about getting branches of the ANC being active. I was taken to Libisa in Branchel, comrades. King Cookie Low. I was taken to that branch, Cookie Low. And I was told for it is the best branch in the province. And I applauded the comrades. And I asked the comrades, why are you the best branch in the province? They said, because we are a branch that is alive. We are a branch that is connected to our people in the ward. Everything that happens in this ward, we know and we lead. We are so well connected with everything in the ward. And that is why I applauded them and I said, this is the type of branch we want. Not a branch that is asleep. A branch that is going to make sure, as it was being said here by a number of comrades, a branch that is going to make sure that it is so well connected with the community. We are involved in the Community Policing Forum, so that when a crime happens, we know who has committed the crime. And comrades, it is possible to do that, because whenever a crime happens, people in the community always know who has committed the crime. Whenever something has been stolen, people know who has done so. Whenever a woman has been raped, invariably we always know who has done it. Now that is why the community policing forums, in which our branches must be active, are the best ways of fighting criminality, to support the police, to make sure that we reduce the levels of crime in our communities. The ANC must lead that process, because we have committed that we are going to serve our people. When we joined the ANC, we took an oath and we said we are here for the community to serve our people. We therefore want a branch that is going to act in defense of the community, a branch that will get involved with the schools in the community, with health matters in the community, with everything that happens in the community. And I applauded that branch because that is the sense that I got. So comrades, Letsema is about reconnecting the African National Congress with our people, and it is meant to enhance and advance social cohesion, that we should act with solidarity with the people in our communities. We should advance, and that branch must be the branch that advances the principles that we stand for: non-racialism, non-sexism, and build more of a society that is cohesive. Now, through the Letsema Campaign, comrades, we are seeking to return to our roots as a champion of the poor and the vulnerable, a champion that is going to stand for the poor and the vulnerable. And how are we going to do that? We are going to do that, yes, by advancing all that is going to benefit society, by advancing everything that will make sure that we benefit society, be it the creation of jobs, not advancing disruptive activities, destruction of infrastructure, not advancing where people are protesting. We go and ban a clinic because we want a road. We go and destroy a school because we are angry with the mayor. A branch of the African National Congress must be advancing everything that will lead to the betterment of our communities and our people. And it is through this Letsema branch, comrades, that we hope to also have a good cohort of volunteers. One of the weaknesses that we had in 2021 was that our volunteers did not come out in large numbers to make sure that our people go out and vote. In fact, many, including leaders of the ANC, did not even campaign for the African National Congress. They went into hiding. They literally went into hiding, and some of them, as we were doing door to door, they would be looking at us through windows. The Letsema Campaign is about ensuring that we have a full army of volunteers. The volunteers must come out in their large numbers. And today, I was very pleased that I saw a number of volunteers. And I know that a number of you here are volunteers as well as being branch leaders. It is to strengthen that army of volunteers. Because, comrades, the elections of 2024 are almost literally 18 months away. In 18 months, we'll be going to the elections. That is why we've launched the Letsema Campaign, so that we can get this engine humming. We can get our volunteers getting ready, because we are going to have the mother of all campaigns. And that's where we are going to show these opposition parties who the African National Congress is. And comrades, the Letsema Campaign is also to inspire public representatives as well as public servants to strengthen governance and improve accountability where they are deployed. It must inspire them to ensure that they must work for our people, that basic services are improved, that when departments are given budgets, they must spend those budgets. One of the things that has been concerning me is that sometimes you find our municipalities and sometimes our national departments return money to the fiscus, having not spent it. And I always ask, why is that so? And I come to the conclusion that sometimes it is so because people have run out of ideas, people are lazy, they don't think, people don't want to take risks, they don't want to implement, and sometimes there is a fight about tenders, which is what often happens, and in the end, the financial year comes to an end and money is returned to the fiscus. Now, that must come to an end. We must bring an end to money being returned to the fiscus because basic services must be delivered to our people. You'll find sometimes we don't even build houses. We don't build houses for our people, but the money, having been there, is returned to the fiscus. Now, that is something that must come to an end, and I've made it very clear to ministers as well that that must not happen again, because money that has been voted for must be spent. So, comrades, this campaign is overarching. We need to address the basic service needs of our people: water, refuse removal. We also need to ensure that, yes, our towns are clean. Our towns must be clean. We must show and demonstrate that our people deserve to live and reside in clean towns, and our people must get the best service from all of us who are public representatives deployed to them, to serve them. Yes, and I say must get the best service because our people deserve the best service. They don't deserve lousy service. They also don't deserve to be served by people who are not interested in serving them. You find maybe as civil servants or public representatives, we show no care, no love, no compassion for our people. That must change. That culture needs to change, and we must demonstrate that indeed, yes, we are interested in serving our people. At local government level, we must see an improvement. One of the things that we have done is to bring in young people into leadership positions. And we have it here in Sol Plaatje. We've got a young mayor who I'm told is doing real good work. And I'd like you to support the work that is being done. And in many other parts of the country, we have deployed young people. They are full of energy, they are full of ideas, they are creative, and they must be given an opportunity to lead and also to work, because I love the stamina of young people. I just love that stamina. The Letsema Campaign, comrades, also gives us an opportunity to go beyond our own structures, because sometimes we become too internally focused. We are self-absorbed. We just focus on ourselves. The Letsema Campaign is about reaching out to many formations, be it religious formations, sporting formations, parents, bodies at schools, hospital workers, and many, many others. That is what the Letsema Campaign is also aimed at, so that we can build a very strong front against poverty, against, yes, unemployment, against criminality. And it is when we do that, that the ANC gets stronger. So, comrades, our branches must seek out various organizations and formations in the branch, mobilize them, bring them behind the programs of the ANC. When they have their own programs, we must also be able to join them and strengthen our whole organization in the community. That is also what the Letsema Campaign is all about. But it is also about strengthening and building the alliance and making sure that our alliance is strong. Yes, the alliance faces enormous challenges. And we have seen just very recently with our strong ally, COSATU, raising a number of concerns and issues. And these are issues that we are going to have to address. We are going to have a meeting with our allies and iron out all these issues. We have a strategic alliance. It's not a paper alliance. And it's not an alliance that we can play games with. This alliance has been formed through struggle. This alliance has on all its edifice the blood of our people. It is an alliance that we must make sure stands firm, is united, and we will not allow the alliance to split. Some people are suggesting that this is the end of the alliance. No, you ain't seen nothing yet. The alliance is going to get even stronger. We are not going to allow the alliance to fade into history. This is too important. And in fact, without the alliance, this country will be in trouble. Without the alliance, this country will be in trouble. Yes, we have differences on a number of issues, but those differences, comrades, are not insurmountable. There are differences that we can solve, be it a difference about the 2018 wage that was not implemented, or differences about policy positions on other issues. Those differences will be addressed. We will not allow this alliance to die, and we will not allow this alliance to be divided. Those who are celebrating and thinking that this alliance has served its time, they ain't seen nothing yet. You don't know what this alliance is all about and what it is capable of. So, comrades, those problems will be addressed. Part of the Letsema Campaign is to strengthen the alliance. And of course, it is also to strengthen those components of our movement, to strengthen the ANC Youth League. ANC Youth League must go to conference after the national conference. They must go and elect their leaders who will revive the ANC Youth League. It's far too long when we have not had an ANC Youth League standing on its own feet. Grow up, ANC Youth League. We want to see you going to conference. Yes, we want to see the ANC Women's League also going to conference next year, standing on its own 2 feet. The ANC Women's League is far too important for it not to be in existence, particularly when we go also to the elections, but also to champion the cause of women in our country. So we want the women of our movement, yes, to reunite, go to conference, revive their structure, so that the ANC Women's League can take its rightful place and lead the women of our country against gender-based violence, against the gender inequality that exists in our country. The Letsema Campaign, comrades, is also about making sure that as we renew the ANC, we bring younger people into the leadership of the ANC. Younger people into the leadership of the ANC at the NEC level. That's where we want younger people to. But it also means that there must be gender equality in the leadership of the ANC, at the NEC level, and yes, at other top structures of the African National Congress. So this Letsema Campaign, comrades, is broader and broader than what we have ever imagined. It is about renewal, but it is also about ensuring that we streamline our structures and get our structures to work extremely well with various other formations and various other organizations. And this, comrades, if we can do this, the ANC's unity is guaranteed. If we can do this, the ANC's renewal is guaranteed. And this is precisely what we want to see happening. As we go to our 55th conference in December, I'm saying to our comrades, let us not only focus on the issue of elections, let us also focus on the policies that should be adopted at the 55th conference. Quite often, we use and see conferences as events where leaders should be elected. But we need also to focus and spend more time on policies and the resolutions that will come out of that conference, because those resolutions must take us forward for another 5 years. So as you meet in your branches, I urge you to carry on preparing for that conference. And when you elect your delegates who will go and represent you, don't elect those people who are just fun lovers, who just want to go to the bright cities and wander around and not spend time at the conference. Don't elect those comrades who love so much fun that they'll spend half the conference, either drinking or partying. Elect comrades to go and represent you, who are going to represent your voice as a branch. Comrades who will make sure that your voice, because you can't all go to conference, who will make sure that your voice is heard. And your voice, comrades, should not only be that vote of electing the president, the deputy, and SG, or no. It should also be on policy matters. But we also say, when you go to that conference, representing your branch, you must also go and elect leaders that you know are going to take this organization forward, our revolution forward, not on a factional basis, not because there is a particular faction. You must elect leaders on the basis of their capacity and capability. That is what we should be doing, rather than whether a particular leader is handsome like me, or dresses in this way or that way. Or like Lamula. Oh yeah, Lamula is still here. Or tall like Lamula. Or dark like Lamula. And dark like me. No. Go and elect leaders that you know are going to take our revolution forward. And also the third thing, comrades, go and elect leaders, your branch representatives. People you know will come back and give you a report. They must come back and report to you. Not people who will go and report at a shebeen or a tavern. They must come back to the branch and give you a full report. Maybe soon after Christmas, they must come and give you a report. So comrades, that is what the Letsema process is all about. But the Letsema process, comrades, is also about reinvigorating our processes in government. Because it is when the ANC is strong, when the ANC is renewed, when the ANC is united, that we are able to do real wonderful things in government, to fulfill the aspirations of our people. It is through the Letsema Campaign where we want to strengthen the ANC. And this Letsema Campaign can also be translated into economic reconstruction and recovery plan that we have. Because through that plan, we are working very hard to address the issue of unemployment. Now, unemployment is the most challenging problem, a threat even to us as the people of South Africa, to have so many people unemployed. Yes, admittedly, we lost 2 million jobs during COVID. 2 million jobs were just wiped off the employment figures. Now we are trying to rebuild that. We're trying to regain all that, but unemployment remains our main challenge. Yes, I accept that that should be our great priority for myself, for the National Executive Committee, for our cabinet. That is our priority. That is why we have embarked on the reforms that we have embarked upon, and we are making great progress. Great progress also in attracting investment. I was saying earlier, the way we are attracting investment, but the way in which your provincial government, led by the Premier, is leading the charge on attracting investments in the Northern Cape is something that maybe we don't talk much about. Your Premier is continuously getting investments into the province, and billions of rands are getting into the province in renewable energy, in mining, now in the hydrogen economy. Your Premier is forever, and if you sit down with him, he will tell you facts and figures and how many jobs are going to be created all the way from Namakwa throughout the province. And he and I were talking earlier that we also want investments in the major cities in the Northern Cape. Some of these investments are in places like Khartoum, Priska, and so forth. Very, very good. But we also want investments where many of our people stay. The Northern Cape is the leading province in the whole country when it comes to renewable energy. 64% of renewable energy built, which has attracted 70 billion rand, is here in the Northern Cape. We are fully utilizing the endowment that we have, the great resource that we have, which is the sun and the wind. We are harnessing that and getting more and more investors to come here. And in fact, South Africa is the leading country on the continent when it comes to renewable energy. And some of these projects are going to be kicking in another 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, and 2 years. And we are going to see even more growth here in the Northern Cape, which is going to help us to reduce unemployment. Yes, we also face a problem of energy. Eskom has been one of the biggest threats to our economy, but also a big problem to our people as a whole. And we admit that. And we know that our people are really suffering from the load shedding. And maybe for the umpteenth time, I will be able to say I am sorry that the country, you as a people, have been subjected to the load shedding that we are going through. And the problems of Eskom emanate from the past. A number of things were done in the past, including state capture. I mean, to give you a good example, the big two power stations, Kusile and Medupi, were supposed to be built at a cost of around, if I recall, I may be wrong, 50, 60 billion. The amount that was now spent escalated because of state capture, because of bad designs, and we're still continuing to pour money into those two power stations. The other day in Parliament, I was outlining that yes, we are going to have to spend up to 19 billion rand to finish these two power stations. So it has been a recurring problem and challenge. Yesterday we announced the reconstitution of the board, which has been broadly welcomed, and we are hoping that yes, with a new board, which is going to examine everything, to do a proper examination of everything in Eskom, that we're hoping that we will be able to straighten out the problems and the challenges that we are having in Eskom. But there is hope that we will, because we are now, as we embark on renewable energy, we're also going to do hydrogen energy. And again, the Northern Cape is the leader in the country on hydrogen energy. So don't ever look down on yourself as a province. There are things that you are strong at. Mpumalanga has been strong in generating the base load energy of our country, and Mpumalanga has done very well for the entire country. Northern Cape now is coming in with renewable energy and hydrogen energy as well. So we are going to start seeing level of growth here in the Northern Cape. Yes, that growth will also go towards contributing to address the problem of lack of energy sources for us as the renewable energy kicks in. Through the Economic Recovery and Reconstruction Plan, we are focusing, comrades, on a number of other areas. Infrastructure is one of those that we are focusing on, and we intend to make South Africa a building site. We intend to make sure that we embark on big catalytic infrastructure projects. We've been clearing all the challenges and difficulties, and now the time has come for us to put shovel into the ground and make sure that our infrastructure projects do take off. And they are going to take off. We are going to see a lot of activity when it comes to infrastructure. Another major project that we are embarking on, something that has been happening in our country, is just the degradation of our physical infrastructure. Apart from those who with criminal intent destroy our physical infrastructure, we also have had the problem of potholes on our roads. There are so many potholes on our roads, and we've decided that we are going to close those potholes. And Comrade Mbalula here has been given the responsibility to vala zonke potholes And that is what he is going to be measured on. Halim mona le jena anta ntaditi rita bona hore the potholes now tadi kwa akaba to bona the potholes te mo se batlo go nta ga akaba to bona the potholes tsa rona di fela. So that is another important project that we have embarked on. We are embarking on water as well. Water is a big challenge in our country, and we are also embarking on big water projects, big ones, even here in the Northern Cape and other provinces. So comrades, we are at work. Right now, we are going through a number of challenges, but those challenges, comrades, will come to an end. Will come to an end. I'm not suggesting that we should be patient, but I'm saying that we have to have hope, because once hope is gone, all is finished. We must continue having hope so that our people must also have hope in the African National Congress. We are going to turn things around, and we are going to make sure that we deliver to our people. Lastly, in order for us to do that, all of you sitting here, comrades, all of us who are leaders of one sort or another in the African National Congress, we must play our part. If we do not play our part, the ANC will never be strong. So the Letsema Campaign is about making sure that government does its work, but at the same time, we do our work as the African National Congress to bolster and to strengthen government. So it comes down to each one of us playing our role, making sure that we demonstrate our commitment to the African National Congress. We become leaders of commitment, leaders of integrity, leaders who are underpinned by the values of the African National Congress. Comrades, I promise you, if we can do that, the ANC will once again be seen as the leader of society. The ANC will once again be the glorious movement of our people. That is what the objective of the Letsema Campaign is. So let us then immerse ourselves in Letsema. And remembering, comrades, for Letsema is not a once-off event. I see event of today only, where ons gaan net vandag werk, en daarna los ons die werk. Ons moet elke dag werk vir ons mense, vir die ANC. Ons moet ons mense wys dat the ANC cares. Ons moet ons mense vertel that the ANC is there for them all the time. Lethi ma comrades, masiyeni ke siyosebenza. Sivuse le ANC. Let us be enthusiastic about reviving this glorious movement. Because truth be told, without the ANC, what hope is there for our people? No hope. The hope of our people is stored in the African National Congress. And now I say to you, my hope is stored in you. As a member of the ANC, as a leader of the ANC, masiphakameni sonke and make the ANC glorious again. Let's make the ANC the leader of society again. It is now in our hands. Let us take Letsema forward. Amandla! Amandla! Viva ANC! Viva! Viva COSATU! Viva! Viva SACP! Viva! Yabo!
Amandla! Pagama, Pagama! Il Pagama Ramaphosa! Ephakama Ramaphosa ixesha.
All right, there was the speech there by the ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa speaking in Kimberley in the Northern Cape as part of the organization's Letsema Campaign. He's been doing this for the last few weeks in various provinces, but today taking the opportunity to outline once again what the content is of this Letsema Campaign and touching on a variety of issues, as well as taking the opportunity, of course, to speak to some of the issues that are at play in the current environment. Key amongst those, of course, is the issue of energy security, electricity supply to be specific, because we can be broad and say energy, but we are here talking about electricity generation and supply. President Ramaphosa of the ANC there saying that, touching on the reconstituted board of Eskom and saying that they are hoping that the new board will do a proper examination of everything, his words, proper examination of everything at Eskom, and will be able to sort out the challenges. In fact, that's the mandate of the new board. But also then talking about, there's been this subtle debate that has been happening as government seems to be moving more towards renewable energy in the form of solar energy and wind energy. There have been organizations and quarters that have said, that's great, but it's not going to solve the problem of baseload electricity supply at peak demand. You need something that will be more solid for baseload. And in that mix today, President Ramaphosa throwing the issue of hydrogen energy. It may have come up in the past, but I don't recall hearing it as decidedly as I heard it today, and I stand to be corrected. I'll have to go back, of course, and check the IRP 2019 and see to what extent does it talk to the issue of using hydrogen for energy generation, but that came out today. Also then, the president of the ANC taking the opportunity to respond to some of what we've seen in the last few days. You'll remember how the ANC National Chairperson, Gwede Mantashe, was booed at COSATU's Congress with the grievances that are bubbling under. In fact, they are boiling over at this point among the members of COSATU. While the ANC president saying that this alliance of the ANC, SACP and COSATU is not an alliance with which you can play games. It has been formed through struggle, and saying that at its edifice, this alliance has the blood of the people, as well as saying that it will grow and become stronger. And that the issues that are at play, and mentioning them for a change, mentioning them specifically the issue around the 2018 wage agreement that was not implemented, saying that that issue will be tackled head on, and the policy positions, the differences on those will also be addressed, and saying that those who think that the alliance is dead, in the words of Cyril Ramaphosa, you ain't seen nothing yet. So that is some of what the ANC president has been talking to, as well as the issues around the upcoming national elective conference of the ANC. That is in about exactly 10 weeks. And saying there's a hint there. I don't know if you read anything into it. I don't know. That's up to you, really. He says he re-emphasizes the issue of needing to infuse youth into the leadership, and he restricted it to the National Executive Committee of the ANC, but also said gender balance, and then said in that context that needs also to be infused in the NEC, but also in other leadership structures of the ANC. The context, the reason I do this is that you will know that there's a push, certainly a very strong push within the various structures of the ANC to say it's fair enough and it's good enough to say 50-50 gender representation in the National Executive Committee, but actually you need to go even higher into the echelons of the top 6 leaders of the ANC, infuse those with youth as well as women. And, you know, that's been the part of that conversation that has been taking place. So that's the speech there of the ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa.